My father taught me to be humble. Be humble. Don't be arrogant. Rock LaManna. We're getting our babies moving, man. Look at the capabilities that we're looking at solutions, we're looking at opportunities. This is Rock. I need to talk to this guy. My name is Rock LaManna. I learned from my father to become financially independent. I started when I was in my early 20s, working side by side with my father while I was going to school in college. And number one was work hard. Get up every morning, go to work, have a purpose. Every day, be optimistic. Every day is a different day. Every day is excitement. And after a while, I couldn't wait to get up in the morning because the job that I had, the responsibility that I had, the accountability that I had was surrounded by over 300 employees. That was our family. And I learned from these people, especially the ones that were, let's call them elderly. At that time, I was in my 20s. There were a lot of people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, including my father. Oh, no, he wasn't. He wasn't even 50 or so. He's 28 years older than me. But just the fact that you needed to go to work and things happen. And as I aged, it was, Rock, you have to invest. Save for a rainy day. Live amongst your means. Any discretionary dollars, you invest. That's when I started learning about the stock market. Sure, you needed a home, but we weren't what you would call real estate investors. We were emotionally involved with real estate. That wasn't our expertise. The expertise was work, save for a rainy day, take care of your family, pay your bills, stay out of trouble, and invest. So he started teaching me about the stock market and how he would invest in reading the Wall Street Journal, Forbes, Kiplinger. All those efforts were really interesting. And, I was so concerned about making money and raising a family that I thought, hey, that's just for rich people. No, it's not. Little by little. And then we had a pension at our company. So he taught me how to invest because the company had a pension plan. Profit sharing is what they called it back in those days. So the company was profitable and we shared it amongst the people. And my father would sit down, not only with me, he'd sit down with all the employees, anyone that would listen to him, and talk about investing in the future and compounding besides Social Security. So we're talking about the late 70s, 80s, and the 90s. So those were great opportunities. And now that my dad's 99 and I'm 70 plus, I look back and go, wow, I'm glad I listened to him, man. Because the job's not going to get you financially independent. It's going to be in investing, saving, living amongst your means. All those things that my father taught me. My obsession was seeing happy people and growing the company and having happy clients. That's what you call fulfillment. It was very exciting. Every day was excitement and a new day. And then we got involved with innovation. That was pretty cool too. And that's another thing my dad invested in. And we invested in people, talent, We brought in people from 3M. We brought people that had the qualifications, or family members and other employees and their families. We were one big happy family, man. And we just kept taking care of the people because they made it work. My career has been 50 years. In 1975 to 2025, 50 years. And I've never worked. I just had a great time. Now, what is my father teaching me now, and my mother? Seeing them age and prepare for their next chapter. I actually moved to Florida, so I got to see how my parents were living. And my dad always called it a routine. You gotta have a routine, because once you hit that point where, what am I gonna do? You get bored. You got to come up with something, and your body can't take what you used to do. I mean, I've had cataracts now. I'm getting my ears checked. I've had medical issues for prevention. That's the other thing my dad taught me: prevention. Take care of yourself. Don't smoke. Don't drink. Don't gamble. There's a lot of addictions. Stay in shape. He played racquetball till his 80s. And the other thing my father taught me was to be humble. Be humble. Don't be arrogant. I remember mentioning to my dad that all the other converters in our competition and our business and so on with 3M, they had 22 different vendors. These guys were driving, foreign cars, Mercedes, Beamers, Audis, and so on. My dad, GM. He was a GM guy. Why? Because those were 3M's clients. And when they would tour operation, I don't care if they were Japanese, we had American, the big three at the time. My dad wanted to make sure that we supported our clients and we didn't embarrass our clients. So we drove our clients' cars. And people got envious. People got jealous. My dad was always low-key. Dad, he used to call it low-key, be low-key. Remember when the vanity plates came out? My brothers would have LaManna. I had Can-Do, Candoo, because our company was called Tagged, the Can-Do Graphics Company. And I had my former partner, when I sold the business, ask for those vanity plates. And that was a negotiation. Nah. I was the Can-Do kid. And I kept those plates. That just goes to show you how people are. So anyway, my dad, his partner, everything was low-key. We didn't even have a sign in our front of our facilities because he didn't want anybody to know how great of a company we had, how great of a profitable company we had. We were proud of the company. Then I got involved in the marketing aspect, and I made it a brand, an international brand. And it turned the company around, man. It helped a lot. I was proud of it. We had a new logo. We had a marketing company. We did advertising because we had to. I had a great team, sales team, executives, Mike, Magdi. My dad had his team. I had my team. That was a succession plan. And then as we got older, I realized how thankful I am and all the things that my dad did to keep living to his late 90s. He might hit 100. My mother hit 94 with no diseases, 11 kids, pregnant for 20 years, dedicated, committed to my father for 74 years. They even got to kiss each other goodbye. That's how beautiful it was. And then they went into independent living because my mother was starting to decline in her 80s. And she hated it. She hated it, and she didn't like Florida. She missed her kids. She missed her daughters especially. And eventually she ended up in Minnesota. And my dad followed suit, even though he didn't want to go. But he did the right thing, like he always did, doing the right thing. So I want to add that the biggest investment that he said that I made in the last 10 years, 15 years, was long-term insurance. Because once he realized the cost of care in a independent living facility, nursing home, assisted living home, memory care, whatever, which neither one of my parents had. And the other thing I did that I followed suit with my father was generosity. He taught me that we need to be thankful. We don't want to entitle our children, spoil our children, let them make it on their own. We assist them. My assistance was education. I helped them with their education. I pushed education. Now it's create a foundation. Create a foundation of charity. Do the right thing. So I got involved with that, and I took my dad's lead. And now I'm sharing that with my kids, saying, hey, listen, my generosity now is to others. I've had a great life. And I have the blessings and the gifts that God has given me. So now I need to pass them on. And that's what I'm going to do. So keep that into consideration. I don't know how old you are, but if you listen to these YouTubes, this is all about entrepreneurs. It's all about financial wealth, doing the right thing, being thankful, being generous, and giving back. And at the end of the day, I surrounded myself with great men, great women that shared their stories with me. And it always came down to a few words. It didn't come down to what did you do for a living or how much money you have or whatever. It was always about bringing joy to others. I don't want to preach. My dad never preached, but I would ask the questions, or I would, show by example. And that's what my dad did. And that's what I want to do for not only my kids, my grandchildren. I know this is lengthy, but I hope there's some gems in here for you. I'm thankful that I had great parents, because I know a lot of people haven't. Honor your mother and father. They really preached that with the 10 Commandments. With my grandparents too. Respect. Respect. Appreciation. Gratitude. Be kind to people. Be grateful. So that's my message today. Always bring joy. I'll talk to you soon.